Welcome to Your Voice Dorset Podcast. I'm Marilyn Barber, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Mandy Polkey to our studio from Shake and Stir. Tell us a bit about Shake and Stir for those people who haven't ever been to one.
Okay, so you want to, obviously I'm from Stir Events.
Yes.
So it's Stir Events CIC.
Yes.
Shake and Stir is one of our specific events which we love. It's probably one of the jewels in our crown, basically. So it's had its 10-year anniversary 2 years ago, and it's held in the local community of Southbourne, in a beautiful park, Fisherman's Walk, and we call it, from the village to the sea. So people,
yes, because it stretches from, it does stretch
the village to the
yes,
sea.
It's quite a long walk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful environment. It feels gorgeous because it's wonderful tree-lined. The sun dapples through. The light it gives you to hold an event it's just beautiful, basically. And the history of Fisherman's Walk is that the fishermen used to walk down there to the sea to do their fishing.
Oh, well, that figures, doesn't it?
Very simple, yeah. But it's in the heart of the community. And nearly every one of my events is by the sea. So I'm normally at the Vintage Festival by the sea or the Soul event by the sea.
You love the sea.
I love the sea. I love the sea, definitely. It's just a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it? It just makes you feel good, mind, body, spirit, all that stuff. So to bring people on holiday for an event or out of their own home for an event, just give them that feel-good factor as well.
So Shake and Stir was founded 10 years ago. This is your 10th anniversary.
Yes, it was founded, it was started in 2013 and then got really going in 2014. I was working with a team of people at that time.
Were you there at the beginning?
Yeah. A lady called Heather Martin put it together, first of all, with her father. It was a concept, and we were all together on the Bournemouth Chamber of Commerce. So we were all executive officers, so volunteers. And Heather was one of those, and I was one too. And we all the executive team were pulled into helping to volunteer and help this first event. But as the years went by, as we progressed, Heather passed it over to myself and another colleague, and Fiona McCarthy, now Knowlton, she got married, sorry, who's now the bid manager for Coastal Bid. So we then started to run it for a year or so, and then in 2018. I took it over, 2018-19. I took it over as Stir Events. And
the concept originally you've kept with, which is vintage music.
That's right. The whole thing is about vintage music, vintage lifestyle, vintage music, vintage everything you can think of, basically, just to bring in that 1940s, 1960s, a touch of the 70s as well.
Yes.
Lindy Hop, rock and roll, rockabilly, smooth, swing, jive, anything you can think of under that agenda that is popular to people. People love to dance. They love to stroll. They love to walk. They love to Lindy Hop. They love to jitterbug, all these elements. And we give people the opportunity to enjoy this fabulous music in a park festival arena, surrounded by lots of vintage traders.
Because you can buy 1950s clothing, can't you?
Exactly. You can buy your circular skirt, your polka dots, your beautiful flowers, your hair arrangements, get your hair done. The gentleman can come dressed up in suits and look really dapper. And people love the opportunity to dress up. People don't dress up anymore, do they? Let's face it.
I have to say, I've covered it for the last couple of years, and I'm covering it this year.
Yeah.
And it's great fun because it's so colourful.
Yes.
And it's lovely to see people who've actually made the effort. They're not just wearing tracksuits. They're wearing nice dresses. The girls are wearing nice dresses. And it's a lot of fun. And the music as well. I mean, do you find you get people of all ages coming along?
Yeah, because I think what we're trying to do is to appeal to our younger community so that vintage music doesn't get lost. So we're bringing in younger bands sometimes. There's a band called Vintage we have that is actually all young men. So you can show that there is an element of youth attached to it.
Well, music evolves, doesn't it?
Exactly, of course it does. It goes round in circles, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, and there's a lot of the tracks that people just know. They don't know they know.
Yes.
But they might have heard their father singing it or their mum singing it or aunties or whatever. So they're there in the park, they're listening, they're watching, they're having a pint, glass of wine, some gin or whatever. And then they're actually really enjoying and having that reminiscent, nostalgic, experience, basically.
This is going to be a special one this year, isn't it? Because it ties in with Armed Forces Weekend, doesn't it?
It does. We have changed Shake and Stir a little bit. Obviously, it's a free event.
It wasn't last year, was it?
No, it's always been a free event. But obviously with the state of the economy and such like and the costs I have to put out, last year I tried for the first time to actually put a ticket on it. Is a political edge there because unfortunately the local community didn't like it, basically, and they put an embargo on me, basically. You know, it was a
It wasn't as busy last time, was it?
No. If you think normally 33,000 people go through it as a free event.
Right.
You know, and last year we had about 3,000. So,
gosh, that told the story, didn't it?
Exactly.
So this time you've decided to make it free.
We're trying to, yes. Last year was frustrating because obviously we put on an event that cost £6 a day, £10 for a weekend. Nothing, basically, in cost. But people didn't want to pay to go through their park and their event because they've got ownership of it. And I love the fact that they've got ownership of it. But unfortunately, I pay for it. That's the thing. You know, with help with sponsors, but not a huge amount. You know, fantastic Polthorpe publicity are brilliant, doing the magazine and such like and bring it together. But actual pennies make a difference, you know. So last year we did try. We still had a fabulous event, don't get me wrong. It was beautiful, you know, because I was able to invest. I put in extra money. I bought in bands from abroad, international bands and such like. So I added an extra flavour. It didn't work, basically. So to try and keep it going, we had community events because everything is about...
So you've done some fundraising before the event?
We always do. It's continuous, absolutely continuous, because we are a not-for-profit. There's no money comes in. We don't get funded by anybody. You know, we seek and find and try and find sponsorship, but it's not an easy one at all. So this year we held community meetings to discuss what happened at Shake and Stir last year.
Yes.
To find out what people felt.
And they told you?
They told me quite clearly that they'd actively decided not to come.
Right.
Because of the cost of it.
That must have been quite hurtful for you, was it?
Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Sent me back like you wouldn't believe.
But you just still determined to carry on and do another one?
As part of those meetings, we discussed what we could do, what people wanted, how we could achieve going forward. And the way that we are going forward was talking to Helping Homeless Veterans. So David Wood was there from that charity because we work together quite a lot, work with a lot of veterans. So we actually decided that it was discussed, why don't we do is the Shake and Stir always lands on Armed Forces Day.
Oh, does it?
But I've never
has actually teamed it up.
Teamed it up, no, because I didn't know if it would work or wouldn't work. But from that meeting, there was a huge feeling that this is probably the way forward because there was a fantastic grant of £10,000 that we could apply for if we became an official Armed Forces Association event. So that's what we did, basically. I've built it. It's going to have a military village. It's going to have a history hub. We are doing a parade to start it off, which is totally different to normal. We have all representatives of all forces there and a lot of veterans. We're going to do a road closure, which Southbourne people love the road closure. So
where are you going to parade from to?
From the base of Southbourne, so Bellevue area,
yes.
Stourwood Road. So it'll take about half an hour to march. We're mustering at 10 a.m. In one of the roads, and then we shall march led by the band of the Royal British Legion. Mm-hmm. And they're our parade marshal. So yes. I'm learning lots. I've had to march with the band. I've marched with the Royal British Legion and with my husband and the RAF so far, just to actually test the length of the journey, how we're going to march, the formatting, the turning, where we're going to place. So it's a learning curve for me.
It is. So it's going to be parading right the way through, is it?
It'll parade through Southbourne, yes. Southbourne Grove. We've got a raised dais in the centre of the businesses opposite, where would we say? One of the pubs, basically. But it's halfway through on the high street. There is going to be a raised dais. We've got the Deputy Lord Lieutenant coming to take the salute. Millie Earle, leader of Bournemouth Council, she'll be there. And we'll have a number of representatives and MPs will be there as well on the raised dais to take the salute. Obviously, this
is a big departure, isn't it?
It's a whole different level of activity that we're doing. So yes, but they will then follow on and march on into Fisherman's Walk. So there's 3 or 4 different roads got to be closed. We need a lot of volunteers to man that road.
And have you got those volunteers?
We're still seeking and searching. We have a lot. We've got a nice number starting, but we need a lot because we have to adhere now to Martin's Law and standard health and safety practice. And health and safety is the paramount, is our baseline activity, basically. And we have to make sure that people are safe.
Yes.
So the parade is safe. The people within the parade and managing and the stewards and everybody are safe. We've got security going to be there as well, making sure people are safe. Also, we need to make sure that no car stupidly comes out of a house and such like, and because it's going to be within the residential area and then into the town area. So there's a huge amount of planning just on this one element.
Have they had parades in Southbourne before?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I know it's quite a big thing because with Wimborne Folk Festival,
yeah,
it's road closures and it's a big thing to add to your.
We have done road closures in the park in the past. We did 2 road closures. Everybody in Southbourne says, "Oh, I wish we were back in the days when there used to be the road closures," but there were only 2 that we did for Shake and Stir when we put big stages on, and we had Mungo Jerry, and there's some iconic photographs of the whole road of the Grove just being full of people. So we have done that. You haven't got
Mungo Jerry again, have you?
No.
I don't know if he's still around.
He is. He lives in Westbourne.
Oh.
So we converse every now and again. We have a good chat. He's a little bit poorly at the moment. He's had to have some stomach operations and everything, so he hasn't managed. He said, no. I'll be there if I can. I'll come and help you open it or whatever. But he's a great fun
chap. If you did get him.
Yeah. But he is, he does he does a lot in Germany as well. So, but he's a great chap to know, basically, and he has supported us over several years.
Hi, welcome to Meridian. We are the only combined air conditioning, ventilation and RACHP training centre in the south of England. We also have our own carpentry and build team alongside with a showroom available to our customers. Our air conditioning team specialise in the installation, maintenance and servicing of air conditioning systems for both domestic and commercial properties. Our main focus is to provide excellent customer service and reliable systems for your needs. Most of all, we are listening to our customers and tailoring the service we provide on an individual project basis.
Is the parade going to go through Fisherman's Walk?
The parade will end up at the bandstand, which is halfway down Fisherman's Walk.
Yes.
So the Royal British Legion will lead and then come to a place, and then we will bring the parade round. There will be an address at the bandstand, and then a fallout. We're going to raise a flag, raise the Union Jack and the Armed Forces flag as well. So a little tiny bit of ceremony. We are using the Armed Forces Day as a celebration of armed forces, not a remembrance. We've done the remembrance. I ran Christchurch D-Day and VE Day with the STIR team. The STIR team, a fantastic group of volunteers, by the way. It's not just me.
I'm sure it's not. How many volunteers have you got?
We've got a tight team of about 10 that is the steering group. I then work with Rotary. So Rotary, specifically Westbourne, Boscombe and Southbourne, and they are the dedicated teams that come in and support. But then also residents jump in as well. So it's a cascade out, basically, of people that want to come and help, and they really do. But the dedicated STIR team are the ones that, help and guide me, and they also do a huge amount of the actual work and activity.
Yes, I mean, you've had other STIR events, haven't you?
Yeah. We've got a lot of STIR events, yes. This year we've just launched our very first food and fun event in Southbourne, which was this last Saturday. And this is I think it went so well. We just can't believe quite how well it went. We had a one-day event. So I always wanted to do a food festival because my database is huge when it comes to foodies. But I want it to be a different flavour to the other food festivals we've got in our location. So a whole different feel. So we produced a food festival with interesting flavours. Not all your burgers and such like, but to make sure you had flavour there, literally. But for people to do tasters, to actually taste the food, not just to go and buy a pint and a burger. So we had, like Idelica Paella, we went to their stall, we put chairs in front of their stall, we mic'd him up, and he told people how he made a paella, for example, and people were interested, they were question answering. But what we also did to make it very special and very now was to work with the Rotary. The Rotary are an amazing organisation that do so much that people just don't realise. So I joined as a corporate member last year. They've been supporting me for, 8-9 years as volunteers, but I actually wasn't a member. So Stir joined as a corporate member last year, and then I got close to what they did and understood the fundraising and such like that goes on and what they achieve. So, excuse me, we decided to base a food festival and then overlay it with the 7 focus areas of Rotary. And this includes all the elements to do with supporting women and children abroad, to look at the environment, sustainability, how we actually support businesses in many ways. So there's a huge, these 7 areas of focus covered a huge amount. So what we drilled it down to was how to make, how to grow, how to understand how to cook, to make a balanced lunchbox, to actually cook basic food once you've grown it. So all these areas are about that. But we also had a chance to showcase some of the things that you hear about, but you don't actually see. Shelter box. So what is a shelter box that's landed in war-torn areas where people can survive? What is an aqua box? An aqua box is something that gives you clean water.
So these were all highlighted.
It was showcased. We bought them in.
Yes.
Rotary bought them in.
So you did this in May?
I did this on last Saturday. Yes. Yeah.
And then you've got your Shake and Stir is...
And then Shake and Stir.
Remind me of the dates.
27th and 28th of June is Shake and Stir. Fantastic vintage music lineup, as well as the overlay of the armed forces. So people don't have to worry. We're still bringing them what they love.
And you get cars involved, don't you?
Cars are very welcome to come along. Yes, we can't fit many in because obviously there's a lot of traders, but normally get about 10 beautiful Cadillacs and Buicks and whatever.
Where does Stir come from? Who came up with that idea?
Well, because the most popular event is Shake and Stir.
Yes.
My son builds my websites for me and does everything. And so he just came up one night and he said, "What do you think, Mum? Stir. Just stir." And he built the logo and put it in front of me. I said, "That'll do." Yeah. And literally, it doesn't mean anything. It's not an anachronism or anything. It just represents who we are, basically.
Yes. Tell me a bit about yourself, because it sounds to me as if you're a great organiser. I mean, it's a big responsibility, let's face it, isn't it, putting on an event?
It is a big responsibility, but like everything.
And as you found last year, you got criticism. That's tough.
Yeah. I get politics everywhere. Whatever you do, because you work with community, you can't please all of the people all of the time.
So some people are not going to like it because there's going to be a lot of people around. There's going to be a lot of traffic around.
Exactly.
Yes.
You will never make everybody happy.
What's your background?
Oh, that's a good one. Background.
Well, I'm interested to know the background of somebody who organises so many things.
It's a culmination of different things. So my first passion was working in quality control. So I come from Evesham, Vale of Evesham area, and all my family is from the Cotswolds and such like. It's my favourite area, my home I go back to. And I used to work as a quality controller in food processing. I love that job. But my husband got promoted down to Bournemouth when my son was 2, and he's now 38. So I've been down here a while, but I'm still called a grockle by my friends, Oh,
no, you've done more than 30 years. You're okay. 30 years.
I don't know. I have to talk to them about that. So I came down here and had 2 children. Matthew and Francesca, and then I started the normal part-time jobs you do as a mum at home, never stopped working, basically. Then I went into retail, WH Smith's, and worked up through the ranks of retail to manager, and I absolutely loved it. When I was in WH Smith's as manager in Ringwood, I got identified by the Skills Sector Council for Retail because I worked with the community. As a retail manager, I found the Chamber of Commerce, I found the FSB, I found the local community groups. How can you make money unless you engage? So,
yes, you've got the contacts.
I made the contacts.
You made the contacts, and that's been vital, I would imagine,
definitely,
for the events
contacts
you put on.
Everything, yes. So, through that stage, I then I became the Dorset Retail Skill Shop Coordinator. I looked after 10 towns under a funding pot for nearly 10 years. So I was able to build the plans, to put in business improvement districts, to actually do mystery shopping, to run retail awards, to learn about marketing. That was great fun. That put a beautiful base in place and got my name out there, And I was also Bournemouth Chamber of Commerce at that time. So I was an executive on the board, became the president in 2014-15, absolutely passionate about it and loved it. After that, though, the redundancies happened because, the funding only lasts so long. So after that, I went and I started a retail business quietly, but then I had to have another job to bring the pennies in. So I went to work for a company called Gliderol, which is now Janus International, which, believe it or not, is self-storage construction. And I sold self-storage across the world. I actually I worked on the website that actually sold self-storage. So I then went and started to run events in Madrid and Bucharest and all sorts of places selling self-storage. But it taught me more about marketing than I'd ever known.
Yeah, your contacts on your phone must be very long.
It's quite long. Yes. But then after that, then Stir appeared. Then I went, no, I didn't. I actually then went to work for Poole Council. So I became an economic development officer for Poole, and then went to work for Christchurch and East Dorset Council as economic development officer. And that's when I looked after all the towns in that area: Ferndown, Wimborne, Christchurch, Highcliffe, and such like. So I made business plans for these areas. We put in what we needed: the websites, the social media, the events, maps, what brings in tourism, what brings in business, what brings in people. That was part of my culture.
Yeah.
So
how long does it take you to organise Shake and Stir?
A year. Every event I do, you start as soon as you finish.
Yes, I know they do that with the Wimborne Minster Folk Festival as well.
Yeah,
yes, you start immediately.
That's right.
And each time you think, well, I must have a different angle or not?
You have to have something different, a refresh, but the template stays the same if you want to use the same area. But like Shake and Stir, I could easily pick up Shake and Stir, do Shake and Stir Salisbury, Shake and Stir, Wimborne, Shake and Stir anyway. But it's in Southbourne at the moment because I love this beautiful park that we do it in. But yes, we do have. It
is unusual, isn't it? It's an unusual venue, really, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's a very long park with a bandstand in the centre.
Yes, because it's a long park rather than a round park.
Exactly. One pathway that goes up, but it allows me to place the businesses and the traders so that everybody gets a fair amount of the whip, basically. So as people walk through, all the traders are on either side of them.
Yes, I remember the first time I came, I walked through and I thought, how much more is there? Good heavens.
Yeah, it just keeps on going.
It just keeps on going, yes.
So I always lay it out by, obviously the music is the most important thing that I plan first of all. And then I start to bring in the traders. And then I bring in artisans. I love artisan because that goes alongside the vintage world. Homemade products, makers, producers, artists, jewellery makers, all this fun stuff.
And do you hear the choirs beforehand just to make sure they're good enough?
Oh, I test everybody beforehand.
I think you'd need to, really. Yeah. And you do get people who do Elvis impersonation or Billy Fury impersonation, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
Which is great fun.
Yeah, my Andy Kinnett is the best Elvis voice you will ever hear is Andy Kinnett. Right. He's only a little guy and his suits are amazing.
Yes, I was quite surprised when I saw him because he doesn't look like Elvis, but he sounds like him.
But that's the joy because I was brought up, I blame my brother-in-law Ted for many years ago for bringing me up on Elvis. I had no choice. So the whole concept of Shake and Stir to me is because my three sisters and my brother-in-laws, which are much older than me, actually brought me up on rock and roll. Yes. So
you've got to have an Elvis impersonator.
Got to have an Elvis.
People expect that, don't they?
But I don't want the Elvis impersonator, and I've never liked them. I've loved Elvis since a child. The day he died, my mother walked into the room, opened the curtain and said, by the way, Elvis died, was the most devastating day in the world to me. And she gave me a cup of tea and walked out, and it's like my whole world come to an end, and I had to go to school then.
But you want the Elvis voice, really, not
I want the Elvis voice
yes.
and that warmth of feeling. Yeah. I don't need to have the wig, the makeup, the sweatiness or anything.
Because they're not going to look exactly like him.
And his voice is brilliant. He gives you that tone.
And he comes every year, does he?
It's very rare I don't have Andy. Yes. In fact, I don't think I've ever not had Andy.
So there's some people are regulars.
Yeah. Some people are the baseline, basically. Andy Shaler, Crazy Rhythm Jukebox, is a DJ, which I will never not have. He always is there. GI45, they work with the army reenactment. So we have a 1940s feel DJ. Yes. But then Mr. D, Dave Norell, is on the stage, and he is my fantastic support. He always looks after me, and he looks after the stage and the people. So
and the people attending have a chance to dance as well, don't they?
Oh yes,
they can join in.
They've got to have their space for doing their walk and the Charleston
Lindy
walk
Hops
and the Lindy Hops and everything. So they if I don't have a space for them to do that, then I'm in trouble basically. So
yes, it sounds as though it's going to be a really, really fun event, and you don't worry about weather, do you?
I don't worry about weather. No. If it's really bad gale force, obviously nobody would enjoy being out in that. Fine. And I have a lot of canvas. Sometimes at Shake and Stir, And it's still building now, even though it's only a few weeks away. I can have up to 99 traders in that park because it's long and thin.
Gosh,
So
that's quite a lot,
It's
isn't
a
it?
huge amount, yes.
And there's
yeah.
plenty of food available, isn't there?
Oh, yes, we have everything. You have everything. Again, it's not a food festival,
No.
but I like to give a food offer, but
Yeah.
never a duplication.
Right.
So a couple of coffees, ice cream at the end,
Yes.
and coffees and teas. But then we could drill down to a nice Thai or Indian, or we've got a lovely fish
Yes.
ban as well that does lobster chowder. We have paella, but never a duplication. Always an individual thing you can go and find. So I like to make sure part of me being economic development and my retail work behind means it's as important for me to make sure those traders make money as it is for me to attempt to make money. I don't very often. I'm a CIC. I've been volunteering for
Yes.
years, I think, basically. But it's as important for me for those businesses to make money as it is for the event to be a success.
And do some people come both days?
Most people come both days.
They do. So
Yeah.
they get different music
Yeah.
each day.
The thing is, you see the programme beforehand.
Yes.
Obviously put together by powerful publicity.
Exactly. So it's a really, really good, really, really good program.
Exactly. Yeah. And we put it online as well, obviously. So people can pick and choose. And very often, because it's within the community, because people walk to it a lot, but there's also a fantastic bus network and a train station. So you can get there environmentally sound, sustainably.
Yes,
as well
I
as
drove
walk.
last time and then got a bus
Yeah.
for the final bit.
It's a great way of doing
Yes.
it, isn't it?
Yes,
So
it is.
because you can access it so easily, it just makes sense.
It does. You've been in this area for 30 years, so I can consider you to be a local.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what Dorset means to you?
Well, Dorset itself. Dorset's a beautiful place, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful place to live. I just love the atmosphere, the people, the environment. It's just wonderful. I've worked in every single town, so I know the different flavours, different types of people. So I don't think there's like any other really. You just love it.
So you've embraced it. Mandy,
Totally.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me on.